Welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. George Wright III here with your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and education. I hope you have gotten your week off to a good start. I'm excited to be back with you here today. We did some traveling yesterday. And let's go ahead and start with the quote of the day. I'm just pulling that up on the Daily Mastermind mobile app. For those of you that are just joining us for the first time, what I wanted to do today is go through the quote, go through some principles and things that we've learned over time. And the quote of the day is by Thomas Edison. I have never failed once. It just happened to be a 2,000-step process. I love that quote. And as I read that this morning, I thought to myself, it's a great principle to remind ourselves of. And that is, when you don't focus on failure, but you focus on the solution or the problem that you're trying to solve, then failure never comes as something that that sets you back. Really, it's just another step in the process towards the success that you're trying to accomplish. So I love the idea. I think it was the former founding CEO of Netflix that said, he never focuses on failure and he never focuses on the actual process. He focuses on the problem he's trying to solve. Then all of the steps along the way, all of the ups and downs, all of the cycles, they just become part of that process to get the solution that he's searching for. And Thomas Edison is a great example of that. What I wanted to do today is I wanted to remind you of the 12 prosperity pillars. And the reason I go back to these so much, and maybe I haven't for a while on the podcast, but I do with a lot of people that I mentor and coach with, is that these are 12 principles that I put together over time that are really the core foundational principles that I believe you need to follow both in personal development, financial education, business, or life in general. There are 12 empowering beliefs that I've kind of gathered from all these thought leaders and mentors and individuals that I've had over the years. And they make up the 12 prosperity pillars. It's why I put the poster together. And, we've had, thousands and thousands of those ordered. I don't even keep track of that anymore. But the 12 pillars, I wanted to go through those with you today. The first one is I create my life. And it's so important that we identify the fact that we do have the ability to create our life. It's that empowerment of understanding that idea and believing in that. The second pillar is I take personal responsibility. Taking personal responsibility is really a key because so many of us are in reactive mode, we're in victim mode, and all of us do this based on past experiences and things that happen in life. But I take personal responsibility gives you that empowering thought that you are going to be the one. The buck stops with you, and you are going to take control. And once you do that, and you're not in this victim reactive mindset, you can become more proactive in your life. The next pillar is I act in spite of my mood. I act in spite of our mood. All of us struggle with getting up early in the morning and doing things when we don't feel like it, or going the next mile when we're done, that next rep in the gym, that extra time with relationships. It's hard at times in our life when our mind's working against us, situations are working against us, but successful, prosperous, fulfilled people, they act anyway. They act in spite of the mood. It's not about doing really well when you're in the mood. It's about doing what you need to do when you're not in the mood. That's the differentiator. That's what separates the successful from the average. And most of you that are listening to this podcast and that I've worked with, you're not below average. You're already at average, but the key is to get you to the next level. The next prosperity pillar is I surround myself with positive people. And this is a strategy as much as a mindset. When you surround yourself with positive people, you get that belief transference, you get that positivity, you get that energy, and all of those things will help you on a day-to-day basis. Because the opposite is true when you surround yourself with negative or people that don't empower you. You're going to go that direction, and that's something that's going to work against you in your life. The next pillar is I focus on solutions. I think, and one of my mentors, Jason Brown, used to always say, start from solution. So many of us start from the problem. We look at a problem, we try to figure out what the solution is. And what would be very, very empowering and helpful, I would suggest in your life, is start from solution. Don't get so caught up in the problem you're trying to figure out why it happened or what you can do to overcome it. Just start from solution. You're going to attract abundance, you're going to attract positivity, and starting from solution is a great strategy as well. The next pillar is I create an attitude of abundance. And it ties really well with that last one on focusing on solutions. Because if you create an attitude of abundance, you think positively. You think that there's plenty. You don't get jealous of others' successes. You want everyone to be successful because you know that success is out there for everyone and there's plenty of it to go around. Happiness, fulfillment. It's not just something some people can have, but there's plenty of abundance and there's plenty of resources out there. Even if you are in a situation where you feel like you don't have the same benefits that a lot of people have, there's plenty of abundance out there. And at a minimum, choosing that type of perspective is going to give you much more happiness in your life, for sure. I choose to be happy. That's the next pillar. I choose to be happy. Happiness is absolutely a decision, and happiness is something that you can create as a state in your life. When you choose to be happy, then you choose to basically correct the filter you may have on situations. You choose to focus on solution. You choose to be empowered. You choose to be a creator in your life. And so choosing to be happy affects every single thing in your life. Even, I'm not saying that you're not going to have times that you're not feeling anxious or stressed or depressed or lonely or whatever it is, but choosing to be happy is a conscious choice. It's an empowering choice that we all need to make. The next pillar is I always think win-win. And the reason I put this one in there is because I believe most people feel, and this ties to these other pillars as well, most people feel like when there's a winner, there's a loser. They feel like that there's not always a solution for everyone. And I believe there is. And I believe that thinking in a win-win scenario puts you into solution quicker. It puts you into a better state of mind. And it makes you open to all the possibilities. And so thinking win-win, whether you're negotiating or just living life, can you have both? Can you have balance? Can you have, finances and relationships? Can you have communication and interpersonal time? Absolutely. Win-win is the ability for you to be able to create both. And successful people don't think either or, they think both. The next pillar is I'm committed to lifelong learning. And this is the part that I believe as you grow and as you develop and as you evolve your mindset, your skills, your finances, you have to be learning, because it's not just about the idea of learning more. It's about the idea that you are changing and evolving and constantly becoming a different person. And so the things that you need to learn will change as well. I was just listening to a podcast this morning by Ed Milet, and they were talking about how to really deal with the mess in your mind. And they had a neuroscientist that I might not have even listened to or thought about if I hadn't been so much into this right now. So hearing it at this point in my life, I was able to pick up some strategies and things that help me. And so you have to constantly be learning because you're constantly growing and evolving and changing. Plus, you will have different individuals in your life that you want to help at different times, and you might learn something that can benefit them. It's not always about ourselves. So I'm committed to lifelong learning is a principle that you've got to be at your core willing to do. The next one is I create daily rituals, and this is my number one strategy personally. It's one that I recommend for everyone, is to create daily rituals. And the biggest suggestion I have here is that if you're going to create daily rituals, don't overwhelm yourself. I used to say, okay, I'm going to do, motivation, meditation, affirmations, my goals, my prayer, my journal, my priorities and all that. Pick a couple that you know will make the biggest impact, the big domino in your life that'll affect everything else. For me, one of those is working out in the morning. When I work out in the morning, I know that everything kind of falls in line and all the other things kind of happen. For you, it might be journaling because you need to get those thoughts out. It might be practicing gratitude. It might be nutrition. It might be working out. It might be family time. It might be prayer. It might be whatever it is that you feel you need to help empower you in your life. But create daily rituals. And the other thing I suggest is to do it at the right time. Do it when you're most receptive or you need it the most. Not everybody wants to do these things in the morning. Now, I'm not saying do it when you feel like doing it. I'm saying do it when it will benefit you the most. So whether it's the evening journaling or the morning journaling, do whatever works best for you, and don't overwhelm yourself, and give yourself that praise and acceptance and gratitude for what you do accomplish. Don't just score yourself on a plus or minus or a negative or a positive. Recognize the wins and the small wins of using those daily rituals as guideposts and milestones and things, to keep you on track. And then we have I attract success. That principle, that prosperity principle, I attract success, is a state that you need to, even if you don't feel like you're doing it right now, you need to act as if. You have to talk in the present tense that you attract success, because it's only being that you will receive. It's not thinking, it's not wanting to be attracting success. It's not one day I'll attract success. It's I attract success, because you have to be at that energy level in order to have that come your way in the first place. So I attract success is something that you have as far as a mindset, a principle, a strategy, however you want to look at it. And then the final one, the one that really kind of sums it all up, is I visualize and manifest my life. And I want to emphasize, and I cannot emphasize enough, that the only way you're going to manifest what you want in your life, to create your best life, the best version of yourself, is to visualize it. Visualization a vision is not just a thing, it's a process. You have to clarify and you have to identify what you want your life to be like. And that's the thought I want to leave you with. What do you want your life to be like? Think about that. Write it down. Outline it. Be specific. Dream build on it. What do you want your life to be like? Because you have to visualize that before you can create it. You have to visualize what you want your life to be like. So these are the 12 prosperity pillars. I encourage you to just kind of review those every once in a while. The fundamentals are what you got to get back to in anything, whether it's life, business, relationships, sports. The fundamentals are the key, and the 12 prosperity pillars are designed to help you with that. So I hope you have a great day. I hope I've at least gotten your thought process going. I'd love for you to share this. It'd mean the world to me if you would share it with someone that you feel might benefit. And like and subscribe, even rate us on the podcast. I never really ask for that, but I'd love to get your feedback on the podcast as well. So that's my message for today. This has been the Daily Mastermind, and my name is George Wright. Have a great day.